Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about copper peptides, my favorite copper peptides, and how to use copper peptides and all of that. So I've got some of my favorites here, and I thought I'd talk about a little few things about copper peptides first. They're still a relatively new ingredient. They were found in the 1970s by a scientist named Laurent Picard, and they're still really, up until recently, there wasn't a lot of copper peptide products on the market. There's a few products that contain a small amount here and there, but a product featuring copper peptides, really, the first one I really ever remember was the one from NIOD, or the one from The Ordinary. So anyway, so copper peptides, basically I'm going to focus on topical use of them. There's other ways to use them. Some people use copper peptides like as a nasal mist. They'll mix it in with a saline solution and use it that way. There's also some people, a very small amount, that use it subcutaneously or inject it. And from my research, the half-life of it, if you do that, is so short. Some people swear by it. Not many, but there's a handful of them. So anyway, you can certainly do more research on that end of it, but anyway, I'm going to focus on topical use of it. And I will say the highlighted use of it certainly is with microneedling, or like a doctor pen or a skin pen. I think I've got one right here. Microneedling device. I still have yet to use this myself. I see my esthetician and she does a better job than I could. I picked this up and then I got nervous and I never used it, so it's still sitting right here. And the microneedling, the small channels it creates, helps it absorb better. I think that's probably the biggest criticism of peptides in general. If they're larger than the Dalton rule, how do they absorb and how do they work? And it's still really unknown, but the results and benefits from it, especially that I've personally noticed, are undeniable. And even though it's still not well understood, after using different products with copper peptides, and it's hard for me to deny that, it really helps in the long run, especially when you use it with microneedling, things like that. So anyway, so copper peptides is a copper peptide complex found naturally in the body and bodily fluids such as plasma, saliva, and urine. So anyway, if you can get past that, if you can use snail slime, you can get past that. You can get past anything. It has wound healing properties that are amazing. It stimulates the breakdown of unhealthy too large collagen and scar tissue and stimulates healthy collagen production afterwards. And I've been really struggling. I got my ears pierced, I think, in June or July, and I really struggled to get them to heal. I guess I wish I would have done a long time ago. I have 2 holes now, and I wanted 3 piercings, but I don't, after this one takes so long to heal. I don't know if I'm going to do a 3rd one, but finally, after just using the solution I was given, and then I tried salt water. Now I just put a little bit of copper peptide serum on it, and it actually seems like it's healing the best it's healed since I got it pierced. So anyway, so that's just anecdotal. I mean, that might work for me, and for you, you might not notice any difference. So everything is totally personal when it comes to skincare and things like that. So copper peptides also stimulate the production of skin identical ingredients such as collagen, elastin. It has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefits. And there's also some studies showing that it can improve skin elasticity, clarity, firmness, and reduce wrinkles and fine lines. And it may also improve hair growth by enlarging hair follicles, which if you're looking to grow more hair is a great thing, but a few people say it makes their vellus hair grow faster. I haven't experienced that, but again, it's super individual, and sometimes that is related to other things. So anyway, I thought I wanted to point that out. The biggest drawback with it is that there really isn't a whole ton of double placebo-backed, double-blind studies on it. There's just not a ton. Most of the studies are done are either in vitro or they're on animals, which sometimes shows promise if it works on animals, but does it translate to humans all the time? No, it doesn't. So anyway, so the other drawback might be that using a too high percentage could cause the exact opposite effect of what you're looking for. Instead of helping with fine lines and skin tone, it might make it look worse. And you hear from some people that do things and they say, wow, I made this 7% and it's way too strong and it made my skin look worse, or they call it like the copper uglies, I guess. Anyway, so that's the drawback when there's not enough research done. So anyway, so typically I think 3% is the highest you want to go. 2%, you'll find some serums. And anyway, 5% perhaps on small areas that you want to improve. Okay, so let me talk about my favorites. So this was a new one to me up until recently, and I'll review it this coming week, is the Theramid Copper Peptide 3% serum. So far, for a fully functional, ready-to-use serum, it's the highest percentage. I found 3%. I'm really impressed with this stuff. I love it, and so I picked up from Niche Beauty Labs. I'll link to it below, and they came out with a big size, so I picked that one up as well. This also contains a ton of other peptides in here, which are amazing. And then it also contains some ferments, which are nice. And the other peptides are good for anti-aging and things like that. So I love the texture of this stuff. It's really, it's got kind of a lotiony serum texture to it. And I'm just really impressed with it. And I absolutely love using this. So I do recommend, if you're going to use copper peptides, be cautious what you use them with. You don't want to use them with strong exfoliants, L-ascorbic acid, products with a very low pH, because the thoughts are the low pH can break the bonds of the peptide and then render it either useless or perhaps irritate skin. So if you're going to use it with in your routine, try and use it on evenings where you don't exfoliate or don't use retinoids. Or if you do, I found luck applying it early in my routine and then applying a couple neutral layers, products with a neutral pH in between it, and then perhaps use the retinoid. I still don't really mix it with exfoliants, but that's my theory. If you use maybe a couple neutral layers, perhaps that will help. But anyway, it's best off not to do it with any of those. And if you do it in the daytime, use it with a different sunscreen other than a zinc oxide-based sunscreen, because there's thoughts that the zinc oxide and the copper peptides may interfere or interact with each other as well. So those are best practices. Do what you're going to do some digging on it. I guarantee if you ask 10 other people, you'd probably get 10 different opinions. Oh yes, I use it with exfoliants every day, or I use it with mineral sunscreens every day, or anyway. So do your own digging on it. Okay, next up until Theramid, there was the ordinary copper peptide, multi-peptide serum. I love this stuff. It's full of good skin identical amino acids and other beneficial ingredients. It's still pretty affordable. Copper peptides are expensive, so this one is still pretty affordable. It's 1 ounce for $30. The Theramid is 1 ounce for $50. Copper peptides are about $10 to $20 to $25 per, like, I think 1% of product. So sometimes if it's too cheap, then that might be a red flag as well, because copper peptides, they're not cheap, although products and brands like these that are buying them in bulk obviously get a much better deal than someone, say myself, but it's still an expensive ingredient, like the ingredient in the Skin Medica TNS, human collagen, human fibroblast conditioned media. I looked up prices of just that. It's like $1,000 for an ounce. So if a product is too cheap, something else is going on, or they're getting a really good deal that I never knew existed. Okay, next up, this one's also pretty pricey, but I do enjoy it. The texture of it's super light. The NIOD copper amino isolate serum. And anyway, it's got a water. This is my repurchase of it. It was on sale. This one's got a lighter texture than the Theramid. It's the water texture, and a little bit of it goes a long way, absorbs pretty quickly. So it's a pretty nice product overall. But again, if this wasn't on sale, it gets pricey fast. So keep that in mind. I think this is 2% copper peptide. Anyway, 1% copper and 1% copper peptide. So 2%. Anyway, so I think it's the third version of it. That's why it's 3 and then 1:1. So anyway, so this one's really nice, super light, great for oilier skin types. Next up, I really enjoying this one, the Peach and Lily Peptide Pro Firming Peptide Serum. This one's also full of other good ingredients in it. I did a versus between this one and the Ordinary, and it was pretty darn close. I think the factor came down to the Peach and Lily's a little bit more expensive, but it has a lot of other good ingredients in here. But it doesn't have a whole ton of copper peptides. I'm not exactly certain the blue shade of this is totally attributable to copper peptides, because it also contains turmeric and a couple other ingredients that may colorize things. So anyway, so it doesn't have a whole ton, but it's also got 12 additional peptides and amino acids, and it's really nice, really light texture. This one's also very liquidy. There we go. Can you see it? Oh, it's dripping. Don't get my shirt all wet. Anyway, so nice liquidy product. Next up, so when I purchased this the first time, I wasn't totally crazy about it. However, I saw it on sale and I repurchased it, and I'm a little bit happier, probably because I got it for a better deal. And that was the Biossance, what is it? Squalane and copper peptide plumping serum. This one's a little thicker than the other two. So it's got more of a gel serum texture. Anyway, so I don't think the copper peptides in this one are a whole lot as well. It's probably a much smaller percentage than the Ordinary or Theramid. It's still nice. It's got a lot of other good ingredients in here as well. Again, I wouldn't pay full price for it, but if it's on sale, I really like it. The other one I wanted to mention that I don't have, but I went through 2 bottles, it was the Dr. Roebuck's Ningaloo copper peptide serum. I love that stuff. It's very expensive. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what happened to the brand, to be honest. They were at Sephora for a while, and I don't see them anywhere, but I really like that serum enough to repurchase it. Okay, so I want to mention these. I'll link to these at AliExpress. They're just copper peptide by the gram. I think they're about $20 or so to the gram, and you can just use these, customize them, whatever you want. If you want to add some of this to the Ordinary and make it 2%, you can certainly do that. If you want to add to a body lotion, you can do that. I pick a light body lotion, not one that's super thick. Anyway, so I will link to these because it's worth checking out if you kind of want to customize your own deal. So this is actually founded by the founder of Copper Peptides. I think I got on Platinum Skin or Skin Platinum, and it's a 7% mix. And you don't want to use this on its own, but you can use this to mix with your own serum and customize it. Again, this one I wouldn't repurchase it because I know of these, and these are more stable longer. I think they're stable in a cool, dark area up to 2 years. And this one, I feel like I hurry up and got to use it before it goes bad. Anyway, I'll still link to it below because they have a variety of different copper peptide products and strengths. And then last but not least, the one that just didn't work out for me, I repurchased it. I thought I'd give it another try during the NIOD sale. And same thing, the copper amino isolate lipid. This is one of the few products that just my skin breaks out to. It hates it. It screams. There you go. And I thought, you know what? The first time I tried it was a couple of years ago. Maybe things have changed. Maybe it was a fluke. Who knows? But I tried again. Same thing. So if you fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times and I'm an idiot. What is this saying? Not going to get, I don't know, whatever. Shame on you. Fool, whatever. Anyway, I tried it twice. I'm not trying a third time because now I know it just doesn't agree with my skin. Something about the formula does not agree with my skin. And there's only one other real product that ever breaks me out, and that is 100% pure squalane oil. Everything else, I'm good to go, but those 2 things, something in them my skin just doesn't like. So anyway, leave me your thoughts, comments, questions. These are the ones I chose to focus on because these are, in my opinion, I know the strength of them. I've been using at least each one of these for at least a month or 2 on its own. So I can vouch for all of these, that these are pretty good. So anyway, interested in hearing from you guys what your favorites are, thoughts, comments, questions. Leave them below, and I will see you more tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.